Hi, this is Nancy Yearout, and welcome to High Road to Humanity. And I have Dave Weiss here today, and he's Flat Earth Dave. And welcome back to High Road to Humanity, Dave.
Thanks, Nancy. Glad to be back. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. What's been going on? I could hardly wait to find out what was happening. Oh, real quick, you guys, if you don't know who Dave is, let me give you just a quick synopsis of who he is. Dave Weiss hails from the East Coast of the United States, where he was born and raised, and he began his flat earth journey when he left his very lucrative corporate job and started his own company. Now, I love this because as a hobby, he hosted a conspiracy comedy show at a New York comedy club for 3 years. And after many fans urged that he look at what he considered to be a ridiculous notion called flat earth, he sought out to disprove this conspiracy and put it to bed once and for all. And how long you been proving that it's for real, Dave?
Since 2014, 2015. Still
Long
trying to
time.
disprove flat Earth. Still trying. I look at it with. I'm not here to reaffirm my current beliefs. I'm here to verify any beliefs I have because belief is easy. Like you believe I live on the East Coast, right?
Where do you live, Dave?
Where do you think I live? Do I live on the East Coast? Do you believe it? Now you're not even sure if you believe it because the way I asked the question. But before
That's
that,
right.
you believed it. So belief is easy. It takes no effort. You could literally hear something and go, okay. And then you can go drink beer, take a nap, whatever you want. Okay. Knowing takes time, effort, critical thought, and you have to actually use your God-given common senses. And you could figure out that, yeah, I do live on the East Coast. Then you would know. Right now you believe. But to know, you'd have to like go online, search me out, find my friends. Then you look me, oh, look, I found an address. I found his high school. All right. Yeah, he
Right.
lives in Connecticut. So that takes time and effort. Nobody's going to take the time and effort to verify all the little things in life. So we operate in a world of belief, right? We operate because we're trusting humans. We believe that people are going to tell us the truth. And that's how we operate. The problem is many of the people that claim to rule the world don't tell us the truth, and people believe them.
Right. Well, and that's true. And I think a lot of us have learned to question everything because it just gets crazier and crazier. I have a bunch of questions for you today. And I know you always have a wonderful, you have your app that I'm sure you're going to want to talk about today. But there's so much going on in the world. What's happened since I've seen you last? You've been on the show a couple times. I mean, what's been going on as far as, the flat earth? Anything new that you want to share with the audience?
When is this going to air? Not for a couple days at least, right?
Oh, maybe today, maybe tomorrow.
All right. Well, no, what's happening is this weekend. So
Okay.
this weekend, which is March 17th and 18th, we're
Okay.
having a summit, a flatter.
Oh,
It's the True Earth Equinox Summit. Okay.
okay.
Amazing speakers: Amanda Vollmer, David Avocado Wolf, Dave Murphy. If you don't know who these names are, you need to learn. And it's going to be amazing. I'm on a question and answer panel Friday night, and it's a virtual conference online. And you can go sign up. I'm not even going to give you their website because you won't remember it. Just remember flatearthdave.com. Scroll down, giant banner, can't miss it. Flatearthdave.com.
Okay.
It's Friday and Saturday. Like a comedy by Sam Tripoli. There's music. There's interactive stuff. It's an amazing conference. It's our second one that we've done. And the first one was a huge hit. And this one hopefully is going to be even better.
Now, what's your purpose? To get the truth out to the people?
Well, it's a multi-purpose. It's not me. It's Jaron and Austin Whitsitt, who's an amazing. You might not have heard of him yet, but he's a really super smart. I'll call him a kid because he's younger than me, and I'm still a kid. So
Yeah.
they figured out a way. In this business of truth telling, it doesn't pay like NASA. NASA gets $80 million a day. We get slightly less than that. Okay, which is closer to zero.
Right.
And all these people are out here trying to wake up the world because I believe that's our mission here on Earth. That we're supposed to be here to figure it out and help others figure it out as a team. So, they have us. They've psyoped everyone into believing truth should be free, and and anyone that is a grifter if they're trying to do it for money. And we used to actually believe that. We're like, yeah, truth should be free, but this is a full time job, and
Right.
and so we figured out a way, or they figured out a way to help everybody. One, those people buying tickets, it's $50 a ticket. Lots of summits are 200, 300, $400. This is $50. Okay. And almost half of that goes to a person, a content provider. Sorry, I'm losing my words. That you choose. There's a drop down list of all of the speakers. You can say, hey, you know what?
Can I get on there?
I want to support David Weiss. I want to support David Weiss. Right. Or I want
right.
You know what? I'm not sure. Split it between all of them. And this way. So the winners are the people that are going are getting a great conference for an incredible price. The speakers are getting compensated for their work, probably the first time ever for many of them. Mm-hmm. And it's just getting it's supporting everybody. It's a win-win situation.
Right.
And it's not all flat Earth. A lot of it's flat Earth, but it's not all flat Earth. But all of the presenters are coming from an awareness that they're on a flat Earth. So it's amazing. Brian from High Impact Flicks is going to be there. Just amazing stuff. Amanda Vollmer alone is worth the $50. I don't know if you know who she is. She's like probably the best health practitioner, naturalist. I don't even know what to call her anymore. And her stuff is absolutely amazing. So
that's cool.
I highly recommend it. It's TEMMS.live. Forget that. FlatEarthDave.com. You can just go there.
Got it.
FlatEarthDave.com.
And I have to, and I have to say, yes, that's true, because we are all out here, doing our thing, and I'm in the same boat that I'm just now starting to say, okay, I'll put commercials on because I have to, because we have to be compensated for the work that we do. So I think it's fantastic that they are finally going to be compensated for the knowledge and the awareness that they have. Listen, I want to talk to you about a bunch of things today. I read a little bit. What?
I got one thing. You said
what? Look, he's got his.
I want to tell you one thing that's new. And since the last time we were when we were on, there was 31,000 people on the Friend Finder, and now there's 94,000, almost 95,000. So it's tripled. Oh, wow. So what has happened in Flat Earth? Wow. It's tripled since we were on. When were we on last?
It's been probably 6-8 months, maybe, Dave, since you've been with me.
So it's tripled. The number of people that are waking up to Flat Earth has tripled in just 6 months.
I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. Now, before Dave came on today, I told him something, and I guess I should read it off the bat, and then you could talk about, that there's so many different scriptures in the Bible that talk about flat Earth. But I was telling Dave, and I want to tell you guys too, I want to share it with you guys. And my father left me our family Bible, and it's from the 1700s. And I thought of Dave as soon as I opened up the Bible to read Genesis, and I'll just read this part. It says, "And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day." And this tells us right here in this book, the Bible from the 1700s, that yes, there was a dome. Talk about this, Dave.
Well, there's over 200 verses in the Bible that talk about a flat, stationary earth. Page 1 that you just read, Genesis, God separated the waters from the waters, created the firmament. If you look at old encyclopedias of Antarctica, they talk about the different areas of Antarctica as Dome 1, Dome 2, Dome 3, or Dome A, B, and C. They're all named Dome, and everyone ignores that. There's so much information. But in the Bible, on my app, under the biblical button, there's hundreds. There's got to be 100 videos in there now of amazing biblical not correlations, direct evidence. But
yes,
I don't call them proofs, even though in my mind they are proofs, because if you don't believe in the Bible, then it's all worthless nonsense. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if you're not a Bible believer, I can't say, look, it's in the Bible, because you'll be like, so.
Well, I'm going to stop you, because whether you believe in the Bible or not, the word firmament didn't just come out of nowhere. Okay. Whether you believe in the Bible or not, seriously, you got to look at that. I mean, I thought of you immediately, Dave, because to me, it does prove it. To me, it does say,
Me too.
There is a flat earth. Well, I want to ask you something, because I've got so many questions today. But, recently they're talking more and more about the UFOs. The pilots are coming out. I see a lot of this stuff on TikTok, where the pilots are talking, where people are coming out and saying, wait a minute, there's all these different, ETs and stuff. I want to understand, because I don't, how those two things mesh. Because if we're in a dome, right, then how are ETs coming in? Is there something beyond the dome that we don't know? Is that where the rest of the universe is? Explain this, Dave.
Well, you know what? We're going to get into that in just a second. Just on the app 2 days ago, in the archive button, I posted a video. 19 pilots confirm flat Earth. A lot of people on their way out of the airplanes are confronting the pilots, and they're admitting that it's flat. It's flat. There's no curve. We're not following the curve. And we have countless pilots that are in the closet that talk to us. They're like, I can't go public because I'll get grounded. They're all afraid of losing their jobs. Okay.
Sure.
Pilots. So
Okay.
just the other day, I was coming back from Mexico. I'm on the front of the plane talking to the two stewardesses, and they're asking me, "Oh, how's your trip and everything?" And I said, I told them I was there for 2 months. They're like, "Oh, you retired?" I'm like, "No." I go, I actually, I have an app and I kind of do interviews. Like, "Oh, what's the app about?" And I go, "It's about the Earth." And she goes, "Do you think the Earth is flat?" Because I do. And she shows me that her and a bunch of her flight attendant girlfriends are in a group together, and they all like talk about a flat Earth. And she showed me the feed and everything. So, and they ask the pilots all the time, and a lot of them say, I can't talk about it with you. I can't talk about it. So there is this self-imposed hush by pilots. So there you go.
Well, but if they're okay, so if the pilots are flying and they're reporting that they're seeing ETs, how are the ETs getting into the dome?
Yeah, well, that's if you believe that there's a dome that encloses over us. I personally think that it's kind of an open. I think there's a super dome. And let me show you what I mean by that.
Yeah, because I don't understand, Dave, and I want to understand this.
Well, first, let's preface this with anything above where we can reach and beyond the shoreline of Antarctica, we are speculating, and we're going to speculate. We're going to look at evidence. We're going to look at the Bible. We're going to look at old books. We're going to look at ancient cultures. But we want the right to explore these places. And I truly believe that there is more land, right? So what
Antarctica, yeah.
Well, beyond Antarctica. So you guys, have you ever seen this map? This map was discovered in a Buddhist temple, and it was published in 1910 in the Hawaiian Gazette, I think. And it shows all of these other continents out here. Okay. Right. So we talk about the ice wall going all the way around. We have no proof that the ice wall goes all the way around just in our pond. What do I mean by pond? Our oceans are just a giant pond, right? And we're surrounded by land somewhere. Something's holding it in. How big does this pond go? I don't know. Because if you want to go to Antarctica, you go from Santiago and you go out, and maybe you go right here to this continent, this other continent. Is that Antarctica? Because this is bigger than the United States, Canada, and Mexico times 2. Okay. Right. And so if you pulled up here and they said this is Antarctica, how are you going to know it's not? How are you going to know? What do you know? So what's out here? Okay. So here's something that happened. And I've been talking about this a lot. Here's a shipping tracking site, and you could track ships, and you click on any of these dots. It gives you all the information, tons of information, where they are, the ship, the cargo, where it's going, who the captain, everything. And we saw some ships hundreds of miles inside of Antarctica. Okay. We saw some ships, like, I know it's hard to see. It's way down in here, a bunch of ships. And when we click on them, you get very little information. And we clicked on one, and it just said it's a 580-meter long ship. That is gigantic. That is a massive, massive, massive cargo ship. And the only thing it said is where it's registered. That's all. There was no other information. And it was registered on the island of Kiribati. Where's Kiribati? Here's the South Pacific, and I put a pin on it so you can see it. All right.
Oh my gosh.
It's this tiny sandbar. Okay. It's a sandbar. There's sand people that live there. Right. And the US government and the Chinese government say this is a very, very important trade route for us. This Kiribati is important. China gave them $10 billion. $10 billion recently for this little island. It's a sandbar. Okay. And it's interesting. One of the things that was shown on this sandbar is, some people looking into it. Captain Cook Hotel. Wait a minute. Captain Cook explored Antarctica. What's this little island in the middle of nowhere doing with a giant ship that's heading south and going beyond the shoreline of Antarctica, and where the tracking devices are showing it inland? How is that possible? How is that possible? And here's what I contend. I say maybe this is Kiribati, and there is a trade route to extraterrestrial lands. Extraterra. Okay. This is a trade route, right? How would you know if there's an ice wall here? How would you know? Because no one goes there. You're not allowed to go there. You're not allowed
Well,
to
they don't let you go there. That's why.
God, in the Bible, it says God inscribed, excuse me, the circle of the earth. Well, a circle is, look it up anywhere, is a line on a plane, flat plane, where all points on that line are equidistant from the center. That's a circle, not a sphere. That's different. Okay. The Bible talks about the circle of the earth. Well, they drew a smaller circle, right? And they said, this is 60 degrees south. You're not allowed to go beyond here. Okay. They drew us into a smaller circle, the Antarctic basin, I call it, right? This pink line is still so far from Antarctica, you can't see it, but no one's independently allowed to go out there. If you do, you get arrested. You will be stopped. Okay. So,
but I'm going to stop you a second. So we can't go out there, but I'm thinking what's preventing them from coming to us.
I believe that they're coming.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening, isn't it?
I think that's where our leaders go, right? And they've literally they've put our minds in what I call the heliocentric matrix, right? Cut this little ring out, right? And so you don't see all this land out there. Wrap it around a sphere, and now you're in a prison. You no longer can think beyond the boundaries because you don't know that there's even a boundary that exists. Okay? Now you're in a prison. There's the prison. The globe is a prison for your mind. And if your mind's in a prison, it can't create, because we're connected. Every point everywhere is connected to every other point. Your thoughts are all points throughout this realm. And if you limit your thoughts to a sphere and keep yourself in fear, you're finished. You're never going to live to your potential. And that's what the elite, the self-proclaimed elite, want you to believe. That's why they want to keep us dumbed down in every way.
But why? But why? Why are they doing this? So they can keep, I just want to get to that. I'm a nitty gritty kind of girl. Give me the nitty gritty. Why are they doing this? So they can keep reincarnating into the same families to keep the money in the same thing. And so that we stay imprisoned. Is this just about cash and stuff?
No, it's not about cash. It's about power. Think about this, right? Words have a lot of meaning. Extra land, extra terra, extraterrestrials, outer space, the outer space, right? And maybe this is a training school that our soul is here learning, right? And if you fail, you come back again. Maybe that's it. Or maybe, who knows, right? And maybe that the people that are running this place have figured out a way to trap your soul here, to keep their souls here, to keep reincarnating into their pure bloodlines. Right? They keep breeding within their family, and they tell us breeding within your family is bad, but that's what they do. And then they show us, like, in the 1970s, they show us one in, like, severely damaged child, and like, oh, it's because of inbreeding, and they scare the crap out of everybody. I'm not telling you to sleep with a family member, but this is what the elite do. This is what the elite do. Okay. And maybe they figured a soul trap. And you know what I would call that soul trap? Want to take a guess?
What?
The soul lure system.
Interesting.
Solar system.
Now I want to stop. I want to ask you something again. The solar system. Yeah, there you go. The soul
lure system.
I love it. I want you to rewind a minute. I remember when I first did the first show with you, you talked about God, how God came to you. I wonder if you share that with us again, because there is a reason, Dave, that you do this stuff. And I want to get down to that, really, because I just want to say one more thing. I feel like this whole thing was created to keep us from God, and this is why I'm
100%. They're hiding God, right? So, growing up, I had a choice between religion or science, and both of them are all religions. They're all religions. And then when I say religion, I'm not dissing God. I'm saying they've boxed God into all of these different religions, which keep you trapped and believing a certain thing and waiting to be saved. When the truth is, we are our own savior. We are all part of God. Okay, we're a part of this living system. They don't want you to know that. And so I looked into all different religions. My family was Jewish, and I hated that. And I checked out, the Catholic Church. I went to Young Life trips when I was in high school, which was a Christian association for kids. And I checked out Buddhism, and I was like, I didn't buy any of it. And I believed I was a science guy, and the science said that evolution. So I believed in evolution and dinosaurs. I believed all that nonsense. And I believe that there's no man sitting in the sky, because my idea of God was a man in a chair sitting in the sky. And I believed all of that was nonsense. But then when I was forced to look into the cosmology of our world and look into the fact that a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum is scientifically impossible, it's just nonsense. And I realized there is no curvature, there is no axial rotation, and the Earth is a stationary plane. Well, what does that mean? That means that it wasn't from a big bang that a Jesuit priest made up out of nowhere, that it was intelligently designed. What does that mean? That means there's a designer, right? You don't walk and look at a giant building in Manhattan and go, nah, there's no builder. Nope, that's just natural. Okay, no.
Right.
You look at it and you know that it's intelligently designed and it has a builder. So we have a builder. Now, if you ask me who the builder is, I say, you know what? That's your own personal journey. But it brought me to the creator, and it made me realize there is a creator, there is a plan, and we're here for a purpose, and it's amazing, right? Our entire world will change completely when people wake up to the flat earth. Dave, why are you talking about flat earth with all this other nonsense in the world going on? And the answer is because when you wake up to flat earth, you unplug from that heliocentric ball matrix, it's very satanic. And if you look at all it's all sixes, 666 everywhere in that.
Yeah.
And all the measurements of all the planets, everything. It's like, it couldn't be any more obvious. And I think they do that for a purpose. I think they can't break our free will. So they always tell us what they're doing. And if we're too stupid, we're too fluoridated and, hypnotized by the television, the tell-lie vision programming, it's our own fault. It's our own fault, because if you're laying on the couch watching TV, eating Doritos, and not exercising your mind and thinking things through and just believing what a guy in a bow tie says, then it's your fault. You're going to get everything you deserve. Last thing, you are your worst enemy. You are your best friend. You are the only thing that brings things into your life. And if you don't take responsibility for that, you're just going to go with the flow and see what happens.
Right. Well, and as you talk to people and as you've done this work, how long have you done it now?
Well, I've been doing truth telling since 2001, maybe 2005.
Do you see a difference? Do you see a difference? Like, do you see more and more people, Dave, like starting to go, okay, this is getting crazy. Like, I just want to say something to you, like the Super Bowl, to watch that whole deal, to watch the music awards, that is all satanic.
It's all satanic. It's crazy that people don't see it. It's insane. Matter of fact, there's a music festival going on this spring in Boston, Massachusetts, called the Satanic Fest. And they say it's the largest gathering of satanic music lovers anywhere.
Well, I saw a Jesus parade going on this weekend. So I'm just, and so on the flip side, I got to say this. They did have a couple commercials during the Super Bowl for Jesus. And that was the coolest thing I've seen in a long, long time. And I don't know if you knew that or if you saw that. I didn't watch
the commercials or the halftime show.
I watched it so I could see the commercials about Jesus, because I thought it was the coolest thing ever that they did that. I thought that was really, it gave me that little glimpse of hope that things, that people are awake, that they see it. You know what I mean?
People are waking up. When I would bring Flat Earth up in 2014, 15, you would just get ridiculed and people won't even listen. And now, I don't even have to bring it up, because people just start bringing it up. But you bring up Flat Earth to somebody, they go, you know what, I heard something about that. Can you explain seasons? And then they're asking questions and they're listening. And, with the Google censorship, when I first started learning, it was really easy because I started researching flat Earth and I watched a great video, and then Google's like, oh, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, and all good stuff. But if you Google flat Earth today, someone's like, oh, you know what? I just listened to a show with Dave Weiss on it. Now I'm going to go check out flat Earth. Google flat Earth. You can Google flat Earth sunset proofs, and it's going to give you a list of videos. Then you can Google flat Earth interviews with David Weiss. It's going to give you the same list. Flat Earth no curvature tests. It's going to give you the same list. They just are feeding you nonsense. They were feeding you all of the videos they want you to see that'll hopefully make you turn away. But a lot of people are going,
isn't it something?
Why is the search like this? Why does every flat Earth video have a stupid Wikipedia thing under it going, flat Earth has been disproven, but they never tell you how? And that's waking up people. So they're so stupid, they, that they're literally shooting themselves in the foot, right? As I showed you, since we were on 6 months ago, flat Earth has tripled, right? And in 6 months from now, it's going to triple from where it is now. Okay. And that geometric progression is unstoppable, unless, of course, somehow they flip over the tables, turn off the internet, cut off our food. Maybe, if they poisoned everybody somehow and cut off food and burned down food processing places, maybe they could get away with it, but they wouldn't do that.
Oh, that's already going on. Hey, I want to ask you something. They lie about all this stuff, and the government lies to us. They lie about everything that's happening. You talk about the reset. We know that we've done shows and talked about Tataria. We know that this was, I think COVID-19 was supposed to be a reset. It didn't pan out that way. Talk about the reset. Do you still think they're trying to reset us now? The banks are kind of screwy, the food's screwy, everything's a little bit off. What do you feel on this one, Dave?
I think they're trying as hard as they can to put the genie back in the bottle, and they can't. And the only real way to do that is to depopulate the earth. And are they going to be successful in their depopulation plans? I don't know. People are breaking up. People are waking up way faster than they thought, I believe. I think that they're rushing their plan for this whole New World Order thing. And, I have high hope that we will wake up. But the thing is, whatever happens, there's going to be people that see it the opposite. There's going to be people that live in their own reality. So if you're vibrating on this low frequency and in fear and all of this stuff, that's going to be your world. That's not my world. I don't see those people. I've lifted myself above, even in the flat Earth community. There's people that fight and make videos about each other. I don't watch those. It's not in something that I'm interested in. I'm interested in truth. I'm interested in learning. I'm interested in human freedom and spiritual growth. And it's too amazing to be upset. Like if somebody does something, an anti-flat earther or even a flat earther that is the opposite of what you think, say, cool, thank you for pointing that out. Let me go make a video on this thing that I think, not against you. I'm just going to put out a video on what I think, right? So when you see something that you hate, think that situation and go over there, okay? You don't want to go over there. If you don't know what you love until you know what you hate, okay? So if you hate something, go, that's awesome. And then go over here. Some of my best videos on my DITRH channel our short videos are inspired by trolls saying stupid things, right? They just like, and I was just like, wow, that's a great point. Thank you. Right. Because they've got nothing. They've got literally nothing. And the trolls, if you put this on YouTube, I have paid trolls that will show up before I even find the video, before you even send me the link. They'll be there commenting on everyone's thing, but they're empty channels. They never offer a globe proof. I tell them, come on, one globe proof, you win 3 Bitcoins. That's 75 grand today. Okay. 3 Bitcoins, one globe proof. None of them ever even try because there are no globe proofs. We don't live on a globe.
Exactly. Well, I just gave you proof today.
The Bible. The Bible has some very interesting things in it. You know where the word testify?
It does.
If you testify, you're swearing an oath on God.
Correct. Testament.
Yes. You know where that came from?
Oh, I was thinking testament, but go ahead.
Genesis 24:2. Place your hand under my thigh, that's where your groin might be, and I will have you swear by the Lord God of heaven and God of earth. testify. You're, isn't that kind of funny?
It's kind of weird, like
It's kind of
testicles. Is
weird.
that
Well,
what is that what that if
that's
that's what
where
this is?
that's where testify came from. Genesis 24:2.
That's crazy.
It's,
That's really crazy.
that's nothing to do
That
with
is
flat
really
Earth.
crazy.
I've
No, but it's kind of funny.
I've actually had that in my files for probably 2 years waiting to use it. This was the first time.
Thank you, Dave. I don't know what to say about that.
Me neither.
I have no idea.
I don't know if I'll ever use
Okay.
it again. Okay.
All right. If you guys want to comment about that, you're welcome to.
That's fine. That was
You
fun.
know, here's the thing though. I'm really glad you're doing this work. Let's just talk about this. I'm really glad you're doing this work. I have so many questions, I know you don't know everything, but my big thing lately is Antarctica and what's going on beyond those walls, like you talk about, because I've seen so many maps and I've seen so many things. And then, of course, here we have people who are developing their own rockets to shoot them up. Now, let's talk about that. Well, Antarctica, if you want to talk about Antarctica, but the two things I want to talk about is Antarctica, and the other thing is people who are making their own rockets. Well, if we're in the dome, then where are these rockets going, and what is the real deal behind that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the question is, when they shoot a rocket up, where's it going? Here's a video. This is a rocket launch, and we see this weird thing. Like, what is going on? Is that the waters above? And if we compare it to something on Earth, look at this little dot here. Oh, look,
It looks like a boat.
it looks like a boat and a wake surfer. I'm not saying there's a boat and a wake surfer in the sky. What the hell's going on up here?
Right? Well, that's what I'm saying. If you've got all these guys who are doing these things, they have to know. They have to know.
Well, so we had a whistleblower that was contacted me from NASA, and again, he wouldn't give me his name. He told me his position. He told me who he worked with, and he told me so much information that I believe he was real. But then he said he was leaving the country, and then I never heard from him again. Okay, and he told us many things. He said one thing is NASA has the ability to go up to where it becomes solid again. And if you know about the Go Fast rocket, that's the Red Bull rocket that went out and crashed into the sky.
Right.
Have you seen that?
No, show it to us.
So this is a little sped up, and they've got a camera facing down and a camera sideways, uninterrupted. Watch a NASA or a SpaceX launch, 7 edits before it even clears the tower. Edit, just to keep you confused and dazzled, right? So this thing went up, and then all of a sudden it went kerplunk, and it stopped spinning, and it floated very strange. Okay? Fascinating. Mm-hmm. Right? And that was at about 70 or 68 miles. 68 miles. So the NASA whistleblower said that that's where it turns into plasma, then it becomes thicker, and then it becomes solid. And he goes, we have the ability to go up there and explore, but we're forbidden, was the last thing he told me. We're forbidden.
Okay, so wait. So the rocket goes up. Hold on. So does it hit? You say it hits water? It looks like
it's not water, because if it hit water at that speed, it would have broken it. It would have just shattered. But it hit.
So
it hit
like a plasma,
thicker medium. I call it plasma. It hit a thicker medium. And if you hear the sound on it, unfortunately, I can't play sound.
No, that's okay.
One day I will. As soon as I figure it out, it makes this kerplunk noise, right? And it stops spinning. But look right here. This is the moon. Okay. It went on its side and it saw the moon. Okay. Went on its side and saw the moon. So big deal. Horizon looking a little flat. It saw the moon, right? Well, what does that mean? So if you look at time and date from the date that launch was, it launched here in Arizona, so almost close to noon, right? Because it's right in the middle, right? Noon is over here, so maybe an hour later it'd be noon. Okay. At the same time, the moon was over Australia. Okay. So this is the Earth, and that rocket was on here, it would be a fraction of a millimeter over this. And then the moon is down here. How could it see the moon? How could it see the moon? How could it see the moon? Okay. So that right there tells you Earth is flat and there's a dome above us. That one launch.
Okay, so the guy from NASA says, tell me this again. They're not allowed to go
So
beyond.
yeah, no, he said we know that it's like he used the word plasma, that's why I use it. Then he says I
Okay.
forget if he said if it turns to water. I have the whole the transcript. I have the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then it becomes thicker and it becomes solid. He says we have the ability to go up there, but we're forbidden. Now, my next question
By whom?
my next question for him was who, NASA administrators, or are NASA administrators forbidden by the real people that run this place? I'm thinking it was a step above. Like the people at NASA, they wanted to go up there and explore, but they're not allowed to.
So what did he say?
That's when I lost contact with him. He
I
disappeared.
feel like I feel like it's God. God's like, you're
I
not
think
allowed to
I
do
think
that.
no, you know what? Oh, that's interesting because God says, don't take graven images of the heavens or something like that. Maybe it's forbidden by God, or maybe by the evil or benevolent people that are ruling over our government. I'm not saying the government's good or bad. I mean, I don't like them. I don't like what they're doing. But if this is a training school where we're learning and expanding the minds of our souls, and the people that are doing the worst things to us, the Faucis and the anti-flat Earth, people that dedicate their lives.
Oh, and like Biden?
Yeah, but what if when we exit this physicalness, go back up to non-physical, pure consciousness, and we find out that Biden was your sister? Going, I did it. How'd you like that? And you'd be like, oh, that was awesome. And that's how the whole thing would be. I mean, because if this game that we're in, this training school, was boring, it would be boring. We don't want it to be boring.
No, but here's the thing. This is what I think. God, now you got me into a real in-depth conversation, so I'm going to tell you what I think.
I don't know.
So yes, I believe we are in a school. Absolutely.
Okay.
And if we didn't have all these crazy things happen to us, and I can just speak for myself in my own life, then you don't learn. So I've learned so much since I've been here.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have had to go through all these things, I wouldn't be so close to God.
Yeah.
I think it's a test to see which way we'll go. We have free will. Will we go to God or will we not? It's a choice. We all have a choice. But we've almost been pushed, it's like you can go this way or you can go this way. You have a choice.
I think we come here and by choice with amnesia, because if we knew the whole thing, we'd be like,
we wouldn't come.
No, we'd probably come and go, you know what? This isn't working out the way I wanted it to. It's too hard. I'm gonna go back to the source, right? Whatever. You don't want that. You don't want that.
No,
you don't want that. This is an amazing place. And my biggest fear, the only fear I have,
come on. You're afraid? No, you're not, Dave.
Is FOMO. I have FOMO, for fear of missing out. I don't want to sleep because there's so much stuff happening. It's like I barely sleep. Plus my app designer is in India, so I haven't slept in 4 years because I have to talk to him every night. And that's my night. Every day, that's my night. So I don't know. This is just.
Don't you feel blessed though? Don't you feel blessed that you're learning and that here's the cool thing. Honest to God, I have to say this. This is the happiest I've ever been in my life. The craziest stuff is going on around me. And it's the happiest I've ever been because I'm so connected with God and I understand not everything.
Absolutely.
You feel that way too.
Let me tell you something. And again, a lot of stuff I get, I find it different places. This one I found on TikTok. I found it very heartfelt and it's amazing. You ever have a bad day? You're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Maybe. And if I walked up to you on that bad day, you're in a bad mood, and I say, I gave you $1 million cash right now, no strings attached, would it make you happy? You'd probably be like, money isn't the thing that makes me happy, but sure, it would be very nice. And then I'd be like, would you be in a good mood after that? You'd probably be like, sure, I'll be in a good mood for the rest of the day, for sure. And I said, Could somebody come up and say something mean to you that would put you in a bad mood? And the answer is, I just got $1 million. Probably not going to affect me, right? And I say, okay, guess what? I'm putting some terms on it. I'm going to give you 10 million, but you don't get to wake up tomorrow. This is it. Would you do it? Would you take the 10 million?
No.
Of course not.
No.
50 million. Would you do it? Of course not. Okay. So here's the question. When you wake up tomorrow, how come you don't feel like $50 million? Because you gave up 50 million just to wake up tomorrow.
But it's not about, but you get to a point where you realize it's not about
it's not about money. But what I'm saying is every day is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
Absolutely.
It's the present.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Every day is a gift.
The gift.
And it's amazing that people just throw them away and sit down on the TV and just believe they live on a spinning ball flying through an infinite space vacuum. It's
there's a lot of people that don't want to listen. I'm gonna throw this out there. There are people who don't want to know.
With people who don't want to know because they're attached to their fear. They're attached to what they thought.
Yeah.
You know,
they don't want to know
the American dream, and they're like, oh, I'm doing good. I got enough money, and they just want to live their life of, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it anymore. You know, and I used to be about the money. We all were growing up.
Me too.
You got to make money. And now that I don't care about the money, things are just so much better. So much.
Well, better. Yeah. And that's where I'm at right now. It's interesting. I'm learning to trust the universe, to trust God.
Yes.
You know, and I'm not doing my real estate anymore. I've moved. I'm doing the show. I'm having people like you on, and I'm trusting. And that's what it comes down to, man. Having faith to know that there is a higher power, to know that you can trust and that, you know, you will be taken care of. And I always tell everybody, the animals don't worry, the birds don't worry. They know they're taken care of. And that's where we have to get to, Dave. We got to get to a point where we know that God loves us enough that we don't have to worry, that we'll always be taken care of. And that's really what faith and believing is, in my mind.
Yeah, we're the only species that on this earth that doesn't take care of nature, doesn't, you know, sync up with nature. Nature, you know, we're supposed to be the smartest. Nature's way smarter than we are, way smarter. Nature doesn't lie.
Well,
men lie.
Right, exactly. You know, and that's and it's interesting. And the more I wake up, and I want to know if this is true for you, I can tell when people are lying immediately.
I don't talk to people that are lying.
It's so funny. But I'm just saying, once you wake up, you start to recognize a lot of things that are going on. Like you talk about, you send over your thing, you know, all the different things that have gone on that they've lied to us about. And I saw in here Stevie Wonder, and I was laughing. Why would that be a lie? Why would the guy go out there and do this? I mean, what's the motivation? I guess that's why I wanted to ask you, what's the motivation behind that lie?
You know what? I can only speculate because I'm not the one lying, but maybe Stevie Wonder did it because it made him different. It made him more, wow. Like if there was 10 other people that were as good as Stevie Wonder is the best because he's blind. Okay. Right? Stevie Wonder is not blind.
And how do you know that?
Because there's so many instances where he like catch things like whoa, he's like, whoa, what's that? And he would catch it, or he would see somebody. Now you could say he could sense people and hear them breathing and know who it is. And
right.
Many instances where something fell and he grabbed it. Okay. Too many instances.
That's crazy.
But here's the thing. Why would they do this? Why, you know, Helen Keller.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why?
Story. Helen Keller never existed. Okay. It's nonsense. How does somebody deaf, dumb, and blind since birth have a British accent? Okay. How does that happen? Okay. Right?
But what's the motivation? Why the lie? I don't get it.
The motivation is to capture your mind and to keep you distracted with nonsense, absolute nonsense. Right? The Diary of Anne Frank, written in ballpoint before ballpoints were invented. Okay. There's so many lies out there. It's hard to keep track. People say, Dave, what's real? What's real? And and that was the hardest thing for me to answer. I used to say Sully landed the plane on the Hudson River in the middle of the winter, and that never happened. Okay. It's all to distract you, to keep
it's all smoke and mirrors.
It's all smoke and mirrors. And, you know, but here's the thing. we don't have to know why the lie. You know, you walk into a room and there's 20 people slaughtered dead on the floor. You don't look around at all the blood and go, nah, I don't believe it. I can't see a motive. Didn't happen. No, look at the evidence. There's evidence that the earth is flat. There's zero evidence that it's not a globe. Okay. Now, why the lie? Let's talk about that. But the evidence is what what dictates.
Mm-hmm. We got to get out of here pretty quick, but I do want to ask you real quick about your thoughts on the war with Russia and Ukraine, and how do you feel that is played into all this? Just
so
curious.
If you look at Zelensky, is that the actor's name? He was
and he was an actor, right? He was an actor.
He played a role in a film about an actor who became president. Okay. He plays the piano with his penis. Okay. He's always walking around doing, just look at it, what he does. He's on a media tour. He's not in the middle of a war, right? Now, are things being blown up there? Absolutely. Right. Are there gangs and stuff trying to take over? Yeah. And they're blaming, it's literally, Wag the Tail. What's the name of the movie with Dustin Hoffman, with the fake war movie?
I don't know.
Wag the dog. Wag the dog.
Wag the dog. Okay.
Everybody, go watch. Watch it. Find it on Netflix. Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman. It is exactly what's going on. Yeah, there's suffering and stuff going on, but Ukraine. This is all set up. They're trying to start this war, but guess what? They can't go into a full war unless we all bang the war drums like we did on 9/11, right? On 9/11, we banged the war drums and we started so many wars after that, but they can't do it without our consent.
And we don't want it.
Well, we don't want it. And that's why these things are going to fade away. They tried the whole monkeypox, and no one paid attention. Boom, it went away. Where'd it go? Right. So if people stop putting their energy towards this Ukraine nonsense, right? Ukraine is the most corrupt state ever. Right. That's why they had Biden there, and they made these deals, and it's anybody with half a piece of common sense can look and see that this Zelensky guy is just an actor.
I think so too.
It's all a stage. The whole thing is a stage. And here's the other thing: they want you in fear. They keep going. Russia is going to be start a nuclear war. Nuclear bombs don't even exist. Okay, nuclear bombs don't exist. Did we talk about that last time?
No, we didn't, but let's talk about it before we get out of here today.
So real quick, what do you mean Hiroshima, Nagasaki? There's video of TNT being stacked at ground zero before it went off. 3 days later, the sandwich shops were open, the trains were running, people were back to work. 3 days later, does that sound like a nuclear bomb? And nobody could report on it or take a picture except one guy for the Associated Press or whatever organization it was. Anyone else that took a picture or published an article or tried to was put in jail. So what's going on there? There is less radiation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki than there is in the United States. There's less cancer in Hiroshima and Nagasaki than there is in the United States. So the entire idea.
So it's a ruse.
It's a total ruse to keep you in fear. So the good news is, anytime you are watching the news, and God forbid you should watch the news, and anytime anyone mentions nukes, the threat of nukes, discount that entire story and laugh, because there are no nukes. So it's either a deceiver or a believer telling you something that's not true. Okay. And so don't believe me. Where can you find this information? Crow777radio.com. 2 R's in Crow 777 Radio, episode 53 and episode 400. Watch those 2 episodes or just listen to them, and you will have your mind blown. In the homeschooling section, Crow 777's right here in case you forget. And it's literally college for $8 a month. Okay, it's an entire college career. Don't send your kid to college. Have them listen to Crow every day, five a week, and they'll be the smartest kid, most functional in this dysfunctional world than anybody. It's amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Dave, thank you. You do great work. What's coming up? What's new? What do you got going on other than the thing this weekend, of course?
This weekend, the conference, flatearthdave.com. Please come. And it's a great way to spend the weekend. And if you can't watch the whole thing, you can watch it forever. You have access to it forever. So if you don't get to be there live and interact in the chat and the question and answer, you can watch it afterwards. That's happening. And Just been doing a lot of interviews and just trying to get people to wake up. And the momentum is incredible how fast people are waking
Good.
up. I was just on the James English show in the UK. He has over 500,000 listeners. And the reaction there is amazing. So many people are waking up, and then they're waking up more people. We're going to hit that tipping point soon, Nancy, maybe because of your show. And it'll tip, and then the whole world will wake up, and then all the governments in the world will instantly crumble and be powerless.
That would be wonderful.
It'll be a little mayhem, but it'll be great mayhem. Great.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a good time to be here. It's a good time to be live.
Certainly is.
Dave, thanks so much. You guys got to check it out. It's flatearthdave.com. All right, this is Nancy. You're out. This is High Road to Humanity. If you guys want an angel reading, go to my website, nancyyourout.com, and you can book your date and time. This is High Road to Humanity. We will see you next week. Everybody take care and God bless.
You all love the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. The best tool to show your friends and strangers how the Flat Earth actually works. But are you ready for a Flat Earth app game changer? A new feature has been added. But first, a reminder of some of the existing features. Video of the day. World time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add a countdown to your next big date. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth. Top 21 frequently asked questions with quick pop-up video answers. Access to the best photos and gifts at your fingertips. Flat Earth books and merchandise, and more. Now, the game changer upgrade we've always dreamed of having. After a year in development, our app just went next level. You're now able to find Flat Earth app users near you. See where they are and send them an instant message in the app. Instantly arrange for a Flat Earther meetup. When activated, blue dots mark the location of the app users near you. You have 3 choices on showing your location. PP, to pinpoint. This marks your exact location. CC, for city center, which will place you within a few miles of your current location. Or turn off, which removes you from the map altogether. Use it when traveling, or when you're out for a day at the beach, or while eating out somewhere. Find out where other Flat Earthers are and connect. Find like-minded Flat Earth app users and regain your sanity. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.